Let's dive into our next big topic, eliciting requirements. In this section, we'll talk about different types of knowledge, how to pull out that hidden, hard to explain information from people, and the best ways to get those requirements down. Whether you're working in an agile environment or a more traditional linear approach, we've got you covered. So get comfy, grab a pen, and let's get started. Which elicitation techniques work best for you? When do you find yourself using them? And how does the way your project is set up affect which methods you choose? Knowledge types. Now, let's talk about the different kinds of knowledge. Here's a quote to get us thinking. Reports that say something hasn't happened are always interesting to me because, as we know, there are no knowns. There are things we know we know. We also know there are known unknowns. That is to say, we know there are some things we do not know, but there are also unknown unknowns. The ones we don't know, we don't know. Donald Rumsfeld, knowledge types. This section is all about the types of knowledge a stakeholder might have and why it's crucial for business analysts to dig deep to understand those requirements. Sometimes users just don't tell us everything, not because they're hiding something, but more because they might not even realize what they're missing out. Take someone who's been in their job for years. They might do things on autopilot and not even think about how they do them or why. If we don't catch this, our understanding of what they need could be way off. Tacit knowledge. Let's break down tacit knowledge. Stuff that's so ingrained it's practically second nature. It's like muscle memory, skills, habits, or the tradition of the organization. For example, think about how you'd start a new Word document. You probably just do it without thinking. Or how about all those workplace acronyms? Everyone just assumes you know them, but do they mean the same thing across the board? Tacit against explicit knowledge. We need to make sure we're not just capturing what people say out loud, explicit knowledge, but also what they might not even realize they know. Tacit knowledge. Once you get that tacit knowledge out into the open, it becomes explicit and something we can really work with. Techniques to elicit tacit knowledge. So how do you get that tacit knowledge out? Observation, storytelling, and role-playing are great techniques to make sure you're not missing anything important. Once you've got it, don't forget to write it all down. Qualitative against quantitative methods. Now, on to the different ways you can gather requirements. Qualitative against quantitative methods. Qualitative techniques like interviews and workshops give you those deep personal insights, while quantitative methods like surveys and document analysis give you hard, measurable data. Each has its strengths, so it's all about picking the right tool for the job. Interviews. Interviews are one of the key ways we gather requirements. Think of them as a one-on-one chat designed to get to the heart of the business context and what your stakeholders really need. Interviews help build trust and give you a detailed understanding, but they can also be time-consuming and may not give you the full picture. The interview process. Here's how you should approach interviews. Plan, prepare, conduct, and follow up. Start by identifying your key stakeholders and setting clear objectives. Preparation is crucial. Make sure you give management's go-ahead. Check everyone's availability and schedule your interviews accordingly. When you're in the interview, keep it structured but flexible. Use open-ended questions to get detailed answers. Afterward, write up your notes and confirm the key points with your interviewee. Workshops. Workshops are another fantastic way to get everyone on the same page. They're structured meetings where a group of knowledgeable and motivated people come together to achieve a shared goal. Workshops are great for getting quick decisions and consensus, but they can be tricky to schedule and manage, especially if there are hidden agendas. Scenario analysis. Scenario analysis helps tell the story of a task from start to finish. You'll walk through everything from the initial trigger to the final outcome, considering all possible paths and exception situations. It's a great way to visualize real-life scenarios, but it can get complicated if there are too many alternative paths. Document analysis. Document analysis is all about digging into source documents like forms, reports, and screen layouts to understand how they're used and what they reveal about the business process. While it's a bit dry, this method is great for gathering solid, factual data. Just keep in mind that it doesn't give you different viewpoints like other techniques might. Choosing the right technique. When choosing the right technique, consider the project's needs. Agile projects benefit from quick, flexible methods like workshops, while linear projects might require more detailed, structured techniques like interviews. Agile against linear. Finally, let's think about whether your project is agile or linear. For agile projects where time is of the essence and documentation is minimal, techniques like workshops and scenario analysis work best. For linear projects where detailed documentation and structure are key, interviews and document analysis might be more suitable. Exercise, selecting elicitation techniques. Now let's put all this into practice. Scenario A, you need quick decisions, minimal documentation, and lots of collaboration. Scenario B, you need detailed documentation, but stakeholders aren't always available. Which techniques would you choose for each scenario? Think about the time you have, the level of documentation needed, and whether your project is agile or linear. Now identify the most suitable techniques for each scenario and justify your choice based on the project needs.